now, it would be perfect. So welcome to UNIMA Youth Commission's Fishing for Fresh Ideas event that is held within the 24th UNIMA Congress in Chuncheon. We are pleased that there are so much interest from puppeteers from all around the world. And this is the 4th edition of this event, and this is by far the most celebratory of the creative process. Tomorrow, in-person version of this event will happen in Chuncheon, and further ideas will be shared, after which both online and in-person presentations will be summarized and distributed so the conversations can continue among you about potential collaborations and partnerships. And now I would like to turn the mic over to Shoshana to follow the instructions.
Thank you. Thank you, Nastya. Welcome, everybody. I'm Shoshana Bass. I am calling here from Vermont in the United States, where it is morning time. So you will see in the chat, we're dropping in translations as well as we're speaking. So if that's helpful for you to see, please look over there. In the next hour and a half, we will hear each of your presentations, 3-minute presentations. We will pause after every 5 presentations for an 8-minute opportunity for questions and responses about the presentations we just heard. So that's your opportunity to ask follow-up questions if you're curious about more. We encourage you to be mindful of spreading the opportunity to ask questions and respond among you. And you will have further opportunity to communicate after the event. So we are just beginning the process here, and the hope is that your conversations continue to ripple out. We are posting in the chat the order of the presentations in groups of 5. So we appreciate that you stick to your 3-minute time frame so that it's fair for everyone to get their same amount of time. And you will see a timer running on the screen when you have that's counting down the time. So you'll see 30 seconds remaining, and you will hear an ooh la la song when it is time to end your presentations. So you will see that, let's see if we get the first 5 people in the chat. Nastya,
Let us start with the warming up.
Yes. Oh, yes. Sorry. If everyone could just take a moment to write your name, where you're from, and if you were a fish, what kind of fish would you be in the chat? This is how we're gonna meet each other real quick here. And take some time to look at each other's responses. So your name, where you're zooming in from, and if you were a fish, what kind of fish would you be? In whichever language works for you is fine. All right, yes. A flying fish, of course. A minnow. A goldfish. Oh, Samantha knows the fishes. That's great. Hi, Samantha. A herring, a whale, a parrotfish. Ooh, I'll have to look that one up. Another goldfish. Oh, we have 2 goldfishes in the room. Great. Eelish. Hilsa. Nice. Oh, there's some fish I gotta go look up. This is great. Dolphin, sockeye salmon, Nemo. Yeah. Bacala and tun. Oh, another goldfish, another salmon. A fugu fish. I gotta look that one up too. Sweetie fish. Hilsa. Whitefish. Wonderful. Ooh, thank you all. I'm feeling ready for fishing.
Have a shot in there.
Nice.
Dorad, one of the most delicious fishes. Okay, should I share the first list of 5?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's hear the first 5 presenters. Goran, could you please?
Yes, just a second. Can you all see the screen? Perfect. Let's go.
Samantha, you go first.
Okay, can I share my screen?
We are presenting using the presentation that is the
Oh.
slide that is there.
Okay, I made a PowerPoint. Can I use it or no?
Okay, let's do so, but very fast, please.
Yes, of course. Sorry. Can you see it?
We see you.
Everything up.
Okay, try to share now.
Yes. It's fine then, sorry. You could share the screen.
No worries.
I'm sorry. So hi everyone, my name is Samantha Singh. I'm a puppeteer from Brooklyn, New York, and my presentation is called Puppetry as a Tool to Inspire Compassion, an alternative approach to animal activism. So my project is called Han and Friends, and our mission is to teach and inspire kindness towards animals. We do so by creating puppet shows that explore and question our relationship with animals. So during my college years, I attended numerous protests and posted a lot of graphic videos on the cruel treatment of animals. I started to question whether these traditional animal rights tactics were becoming counterproductive. So then I learned something called the backfire effect recently, and even if the goal is to simply raise awareness, individuals actively resist information that challenges their existing worldview in order to maintain their sense of self and identity. So when presenting evidence that contradicts someone's belief, instead of changing their minds, it actually makes them hold their original beliefs even more strongly. And so I needed to find a new approach to my activism, one that inspires rather than guilts people, and one that sparks meaningful conversation rather than arguments. Rather than telling people that pigs deserve better lives because they are smarter than dogs, or that mother pigs sing to their babies, how can I show them instead? So live performance and puppetry are a great visual medium to do so. Animals are individuals and have their own problems that they face, and thus unique stories to tell. So my approach to when creating shows is I center it on an animal, and I try to focus on one issue and see which style of puppetry best conveys that message. So if you see the picture below, one of my first shows is called Subway Creatures. And rats are my favorite animals, and I had 4 pet rats over the years. I know firsthand how smart, funny, and loving they can be, and I wanted to show other people with my first show. In the story, a homeless man helps a pet rat who gets lost in the subway. Like rats, the homeless face many unfair prejudices, and I wanted to break those negative stereotypes by highlighting the compassion, trust, and kindness they show for each other. And then in my show Silence, animals being raised and killed for food has always been a difficult topic to address. Silence tells the story of a girl already facing grief who befriends lambs on a farm, only to witness them being slaughtered. This piece utilizes shadow puppetry and silence to convey such a heavy topic and emotion. And then I wanted to highlight another show. It's not, the picture isn't on the slide, but this show was about a goldfish, and goldfish are one of the most neglected pets in America. Oh. Thank you for listening, everyone. I do have to log off soon, so I might not be able to join the question portion, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. It was one of the nicest topic on the list. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your presentation. Let's move to Maite Agopian from USA.
We recommend that everyone turn their volume up on their personal device just while the video is playing because it's a little bit soft.
Just bear with me. I need to share another screen because the video has a low quality sound. Okay.
Hi, everybody. My name is Maite Agopian, and I'm talking to you from Fairbanks, Alaska, where I live. And I'm registering this because I won't be able to attend live as it will be middle of the night for me. But I'm really happy to share this project. This project is a collaboration and about how we used puppetry for a language revitalization project. It's a collaboration between
Can you all hear her? Or is it just me?
It blocked on mine as well.
I can no longer hear.
I don't
Because
hear.
Goran's micro is muted.
elders, this woman here in a village, Mitelmen village in Kamchatka, Far East Russia. And this Elvel is became also the name of the dance group, the local dance group there. But with colonization and time and language lost, the story has been a bit lost, and the language is also suffering. And so with my friend, who is the daughter of Vika Tasheva, where I spent time in Kamchatka with, she is now a professor, and she wanted, when her grandmother died, I reached out to her and I said, well, you know, I'm doing puppetry. If there's any story that you would like to do as a puppet show or anything, just reach out to me. And she did a while later. And so with this project that she really, that was really important for her. And so we started, and they really project. You know, we worked a lot. Half of the story is in shadow, the other half is in wood puppet. And for me, it's really interesting to showcase that it was done in, you know, very small spaces. This is my workshop.
Okay, Lauren, we can pause it now.
Space, and I use my iPhone.
Thank you. We are very grateful to Maite to do it because she was not able to join and she did it in a very short time. You will see the whole video in the folder that I shared in the chat.
And that's when
You can see the full 6 minutes video there. And I think that we got an idea of an Itelman language and Itelman culture in Russian Kamchatka with this, which is very exotic even for Russian people. So let's move to the next presentation. Warren, if we may, it is Carmel.
Hi everyone, my name is Carmel Balfe and I have a company called Little Gem Puppets that's based in Ireland, and I'm on the board of the Member of Irish UNIMA. So 2 years ago, I went to see the Studio Irma exhibit called Digital Immersive Art in the MoCo Museum in Amsterdam. And in the exhibit, I experienced standing inside an infinity cube and being totally immersed in patterns and light through me, onto me, and around me. The experience filled me with energy and a great sense of freedom, and it inspired me to bring the immersive experience into my own work. So after that, I was given a residency with a group of neurodivergent children at my local school. And that was my opportunity to explore the immersive experience through the medium of shadow puppetry. I was aiming to create a shared experience of being bathed in light, shadow, color, and sound. Well, one of the challenges in working with neurodivergent children is safety. So using light as a medium was a good fit for a start. I started by performing a shadow puppet show to give the children time to adjust to having me in their room. I find that time to adapt is important with that group of people. The children, they tried out the shadow screen with soft animal toys first and then shadow puppets, and then made their own shadow puppets using wire frames, bubble wrap, tissue paper, card, and feathers. The narratives emerged mostly organically and through repetitive movement a lot of the time. So we created 2 immersive experiences. For the first one, we used torches. The children used torches to project the shadow puppets onto the floors, walls, and ceiling. And I also brought in a portable projector of the night sky so I could move it around the room and project it onto the children. I made what I call a star shower, which is like a fabric canopy you can stand under and the stars are projected onto you. And we had a tent that acted like a shadow screen when you got inside it. And then for the second installation, I made a short film with a soundtrack of the students' puppets in motion and projected it large onto the walls and the floor of the room. We hung their puppets from the ceiling and a shadow screen in the middle of the room and used the tent again. And then the students came in and moved the puppet shadows all around the room with their torches. So what I found was that the group responded really well to being still and allowing themselves engage in the sensory experience of light, shadow, and sound. Does that mean do I have to stop?
You can finalize your presentation.
Okay. The engagement happened in waves. So at first there was an anxious, distracted movement, and that gave way to a deeper, quieter engagement with the environment of the room. And the pace that children worked at and their willingness to engage with the abstract throughout many exciting possibilities for future work. That's it. Thank you.
You can start.
Let's go! Hello, everyone. My name is Caroline Bernier-Dion. I'm a professional puppeteer from Quebec, Canada, but I'm currently in Florida, and I'm working for Cirque du Soleil in the Art of Walt Disney World in Orlando. So I got selected to perform a main character in a giant puppetry field here in a show called Drawn to Life. And in this journey, I also got the chance to be a puppetry coach for acrobats to help them to do their job as they also manipulate puppets in the show. So I train acrobats to manipulate puppets, and we focus on giant puppetry because it's a big venue of 1,500 seats. So some puppets are secrets near to magic tricks, so we don't reveal any secrets about them, but they come to life in special way. But others that I want to focus on involve high-tech technology and push the boundary further of puppetry. So those puppets are called the comforting sheet. And as it's funny, the theme of this year is robot AI and the dream of the puppet. I feel we can bring the spotlight on that because it's really connecting all the dots. Drawn to Life is a love letter to the art of animation, and those puppets are designed to put the art of animation of Disney character actually on the 2D puppets that's moving on stage. So I want to bring this idea to you because it's using the projection technology, and we project the character, but the puppeteer inside have also to match the motion of the character of the projection. So every time a Disney lovely character arrive to life, for sure they will connect, the audience will connect with their love to the character, but also see the character with the art of puppetry moving at the same time. So it's really, we are out of the field of animatronics, but we are really in the field of puppetry involving more technology. So it's an innovative way that Cirque du Soleil want to bring and push the boundary of our art field. And I want to tell you that, Cirque du Soleil is doing some puppets, and we want to involve that. So this fresh idea helped the narrative of the show, and it's helped to keep the audience interested and to identify with their character they enjoy. So I feel it's the perfect combination of projection at the same time than puppetry, and I have the chance to help acrobat to do that all the way while performing this giant hand that you see in the middle of the picture. So thank you so much for listening.
Perfect timing. Thank you, Caroline. And John Paul, I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. So sorry.
No worries. So my name is John Paul Chelikoff. I'm from Northern Ontario in Canada, near the North Shore of Lake Superior. I'm a member of Michipican First Nation, a little Ojibwe community on the northeastern shore of Lake Superior. And actually, I got my little friend here. I'll let him introduce himself to you. Bochum, Bobby and Dishnikas. My name is Bobby. Kichigaming and Donjaba. I come from an island on Lake Superior. I am really happy and appreciate to be here today. Big wetch. So that's my friend Bobby. His name is Bobby, short for Bobby Wash, which means she or he is scattered here and there by the wind. He's named after an elder in my community. And so what some of the stuff that I do is I use Bobby to kind of help teach the Ojibwe language or Anishinaabe, and I've been traveling to different communities in the region, a number of First Nations communities and different towns and that. And so puppetry's kind of been a medium to share and make language learning a little less intimidating. I started off as a musician and came to puppetry during the pandemic as a kind of as a visual medium to share some of the songs. So sometimes we'll do a little duet where like I'll sing a song like it's called Giabina Gisana, which means is it still cold? So I'll be like Giabina Gisana, Giabe Gisana, which is him responding, yeah, it's still cold, and then I'll tell him to get dressed and put on your hat and your jacket and your mitts, and I have these little felt that'll usually get kids in the audience just kind of throw on them. It usually falls off during the performance, and they get a kick out of that. But one of the things I've been finding is that a lot of our language, as many indigenous languages, the number of speakers are declining. A lot of the exposure to the language is primarily in schools and classrooms now. So finding ways to get the language used at home and make it a little less stuffy than the classroom setting, it's a challenge. So things like finding puppetry has been helping to just make it more fun, more accessible. I find people are a little less intimidated to make mistakes in their language use, and just to be a little bit more brave and that kind of thing. So I find that I found that it's really helped to do those kinds of things. So we'll often just do those kinds of little things. And then the world of puppetry is such a vast world. This is, I often tell them, this is just one style, and it's a vast world that's diverse and just a magical world. And it brings language, music, and education and language revitalization into one place. That's just a brief snapshot of what we do. So thank you for listening. Big watch Bizindawie. Thank you for listening. Mama P. See you later. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we will now take a brief break in the presentations, and we'll have 8 minutes. Will we have an 8-minute timer, Nastya? Oh, look at that. Just to ask each other some questions about what we just heard. And you can either, I saw someone did drop a question in the chat. That's fine. You could write it in there and we can ask it. Or you could raise your hand. If everyone knows where the raise hand function is on your Zoom, you go down to the React button at the bottom of your page and you will see the little raise hand function. And then after we've called on you, there's a lower hand button. So is Sam still here? Did Sam leave?
I had to go do a performance.
Okay, so Sam is gone. So hopefully, Joanne, Sam dropped her email there if you're curious to follow up about how Sam finds her audiences.
Yeah.
But Angelika.
So Jean-Paul, do you do it with children or with grown-ups?
Everybody that shows up there. So sometimes there'll be kids, sometimes there'll be elders, and everything in between. But a lot of times the school performances, but if they're community performances, there'll be. I try to make it all ages, even if it's kind of labeled as a kids show.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions just to refresh who we heard from? Sam, of course, had to leave and Maite isn't here in person, but we heard from Carmel and Caroline and John Paul in this last group.
Alex is desperate to ask a question, but he can't raise his hand on. Only on. Hey, you found the button.
Hello, Alex.
I'm so sorry. I'm on my phone on Zoom for the first time ever, and it's a mess. Anyway, hello. Mareike and Alex Joy here. I wanted to say to John Paul that there is a lady in Australia who is teaching, she's using puppetry to teach Wiradjuri language in Northwest New South Wales. And I think as someone who's teaching a First Nations language, I would love to connect you to her because I think this is a pedagogy of teaching language through puppetry. If you're interested in that, I think that would be really cool.
I would
How do I lower
love
my
that.
hand?
Thank you.
Okay, we will send me your in the chat. Do the thing. I'm gonna find you. Help. I got to
And
lower
if
it.
anyone wants to also reach out to Maite, whose info is in the packet, her presentation also connects with Indigenous languages through her work. Great, I love this opportunity. Yes.
We have a question, like a discussion topic in the chat about real animals performing with the puppets on the stage. And for me, it's like always the question of real animals is always a very delicate thing. So I'm wondering what some would say. So hopefully we could follow this question to her and hear from her about that.
And Chad has been able to offer a little something as a close colleague, that Samantha is a professional animal educator, but keeps her animal work and puppetry separate. She works at the Natural History Museum in the new insect wing.
Question for John Paul. I'm sorry. I was wondering how much monetary support your province is giving you, or the government of Canada is giving you. Like, what kind of support have you received in the past versus now, and how that's going?
So far I've applied for funding for more of the music part. So I've been professionally recording the songs, and then the next phase is to start making the videos for the songs. So but I've gotten close to maybe $8,000 in grants so far for the music piece of it. A lot of community support for the performances and that. But there's definitely resources I plan to tap into to apply for the puppetry piece, but I haven't quite. I include that in the music part of that that's connected to the puppetry, but it's been mostly music focused at the moment.
Carmel? You're muted.
So Catalina, I hope I got that name right. I wanted to know how were the projections projected on the animations projected onto the puppets?
Yeah, it's a really good technical question. Basically, we work with computers program, and with we call it in English, it's infrared emitters. So it's kind of little device that send a red light, like infrarouge, like infrared, and the camera get this signal, and this give the parameter where to shoot the projection. And when the puppet is moving on stage, the projection will slightly wiggle, but find the surface of the canvas, the blank canvas of the sheets. And while we move, it's always following the square. So it's really a bit of technology, but this technology work well and keep evolving as we go. So it's basically projection and light design technology. We call it beacons. But if you want more details about that, I will be happy to give you all the details.
Yes, I would like more details. I'll put my email in the chat.
Perfect.
And me too, Caroline. I'm Alessandra Micarelli. Sorry. Me too. I would like to have.
Yeah, I totally understand. Me, when I discovered those kind of like technology combined, projection and puppetry, I was like, oh my God, this could save our world. But I feel from the technicians, like they didn't get the goal thing. As puppeteer, we can, oh my God, this could change our practice and really bring it in next level with technology evolution. So yes, I will reach, you can reach to me. I will put also my email so we can exchange about that.
Great, this is what it's all about. This is the moment to connect and exchange those contacts and see where your work might align, or there's opportunity for collaboration or just curiosity that it sparks within you. So any final questions in the house, in the room? Yes, Peter. Hey, Peter.
Hi, Shoshana. Sorry, I know I've got 14 seconds. Simply to say everybody's going to hate me because I'm doing the opposite. Sorry. Hello, everybody. I'm here from South Africa, where we have 14, count them, official languages.
Don't worry, if you just finish your thought.
We have 14 official languages, 2 of which are connected languages, i.e. English and Afrikaans are the 2 languages that spread the whole country. But the children in primary school are taught up to grade 3 in their home language. Now, grade 3 is 8 years old. It takes you up to 8 years old. And then from grade 4, they have to transition into learning almost everything in English. And it's really, really difficult. As you can imagine, you're 8 years old and you suddenly have to learn a whole new language. So the work that I've been doing is from grade R, grade 0, which would be your grade K, I think in America, certainly, through to grade 3 is that we do puppet shows in English and the indigenous language of the area. So we mix the 2. So they're constantly intertwining so that the kids can actually find that middle ground. So they make the connections between their own language and English as a combined language skill. So that's part of the work that we're doing here in South Africa. So it just tied in so perfectly with what John Paul was asking and what Alex was talking about in Australia. So that just sort of throw that in the mix. It's the opposite, but with the same intention.
I feel a whole nother session on the horizon around indigenous language, colonizing languages, and puppetry, and how that all plays out all over the world. So the more you all, maybe Peter wants to join that group of people who are connecting around this already. So Peter, drop your email in the chat, and Alex and John Paul, if you want to tie Peter in with those conversations. And also Palumi also dropped a comment, and same thing is happening, has same situation there. So join the conversation. But also Palumi, you are up next in our lineup here. So we're going to jump back into our 3-minute presentations.
Had a nice presentation that I was so keen to show, but Anastasia wouldn't let me show. But anyways.
Okay, this is just the starting place.
Okay. Okay, so I am Paulumi, who has been the dramaturg and content guide of Mati Kotha, a play that I'm going to talk about. I have titled this presentation, When Clay Dolls and an Orb of Earth Start Telling Tales of Tigers and Humans. Will you listen? Mati Kotha, Earth Stories, is an experimental trilingual object and material theatre production devised by Tram Arts Trust in 2023, which invites audiences to listen, truly listen, to stories whispered through earth and clay. At the heart of its production ideas are traditional handcrafted clay dolls from Sundarbans, a fragile, often forgotten borderland between India and Bangladesh. These dolls, once playthings, votive objects, or folk art curios, are now storytellers on stage. The dolls do not move like puppets. Instead, they are lifted, placed, spoken to, and spoken for by the performer. carrying both their tangible weight and metaphorical resonance. Drawn from years of ethnographic research into West Bengal's doll-making traditions and inputs from my PhD project on the Bonubibi cult of Sundarbans, Mati Kotha brings these seemingly mute objects to life, not by animating them, but by allowing them to embody histories, quirks, and layered identities. Apart from clay dolls, the play begins with a lump of clay at the center of the stage, which is later pressed, stamped, molded, and shape-shifted to from land, rivers, trees, animals, and humans. The fact that dolls are also made of clay is very important. Clay, in a sense, becomes the medium as well as the philosophical anchor of the play. What rises from the earth goes back to the earth. Clay, in its raw materiality, is a character in the play, its existential presence omnipresent throughout the performance. It's becoming, changing, transforming into other life forms, and again turning back into clay, asking one very poignant question. What does it mean to belong, to break, to transform? In the Sundarbans, known globally for its mangroves and tigers, the people are rarely noticed. Mati Kotha reverses that gaze. It speaks of those lives, resilient, interwoven with land and non-human kin, battling erasure in both memory and market. The dolls become bridges between the local and the global, the ancient and the urgent. This project is not just a performance very close to our heart, but also a platform for rural artists, for endangered traditions, and for future projects like children's books, animation films, and online digital archives, and puppetry and object theater workshops. So when the clay dolls and this orb of earth begin to tell their tales of tigers, storms, gods, and forgotten human, the question is, will you stop? Will you pause and listen?
Thank you so much, Palomi. I am so sorry that I had to be so strict. If you allow me, I can upload your presentation into the common folder.
Absolutely. I have already added my voice over to the presentation and updated the summary that I sent you. If you send that, then the presentation will run again with the PPT.
Wonderful. Thank you. We will add it to the folder so everybody could see it. Thank you.
Yeah, please update the document.
Gavin, you are next.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm Gavin Glover. I've worked for many years as a puppeteer, director and designer, mostly for an adult audience, firstly with the company Faulty Optic, and then later collaborating and teaching many different styles of performer, actor, physical theatre performer, and of course puppeteers. So I'd like to talk about contemporary puppetry for an adult audience and the ideas and stories and content that I think are still actually missing. It's great to see that puppets are being discovered by new audiences, but I'm worried that a lot of shows that I see don't really explore the deeper and more metaphorical dimensions that puppet theatre is really good at. It all feels a bit stagnated, as if we don't really know quite what else a puppet can do. So, of course, you can do workshops on how to move a puppet, but after that, there's really not much training on the actual content or narrative, especially for more adult-orientated work. I've noticed a couple of things when I work with performers. I'm always fascinated by how the puppet is moved, depending on who is doing the moving. For example, a dancer will physically handle a puppet in a totally different way to an actor or a puppeteer. A clown will find it funny if they throw the puppet across the room, but of course the puppeteer will find that totally outrageous. And secondly, if we treat our puppet like actors and give them real emotions like empathy, guilt, suspicion, rebellion, all those kind of darker things, even hatred, then we can discover a much more dangerous species of puppet, the imposter, the effigy, and the haunted. And we open a Pandora's box to all these crazy situations, some hilarious and some quite disturbing. And we can, for example, we can walk with our imaginary friend, or we can argue with our alter ego. We can become aware of the elephant in the room, and we can reimagine the whole puppet and performer relationship. Sometimes the puppet doesn't even need a performer or a puppeteer with it. So I've developed a new workshop which explains all these things, explores it. It's called The Darker Side of Puppetry. It's a little bit different to your usual puppet workshop. We do break some rules and we dig up some quite strange scenarios, but it's actually a lot of fun. It's open to any performer, no puppetry experience necessary, and you can discover new ways of working and find fresh new narratives and meanings, and even why you actually use a puppet. And importantly, you can develop your own style of puppetry, whatever your profession is. Ideally, it's 3 to 5 or even 10 days long, and I've taken it to parts of Europe and the UK, and I'd like to be able to bring it to you. So if you know of a venue, a festival, a theatre, or an organisation who might be interested to host this darker side of puppetry workshop, then please contact me on my website. Let's see what else our puppets can do for us. What dark places can they take us to? I also run workshops at the Micro Cinema Theatre, which is another presentation, but that's also a lot of fun. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Emanuela. Are you
I've
here?
asked Emanuela to turn on her mic.
Yes, sorry.
Oh, great.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to present our work. I'm the founder of Visual Puppet Theatre, Prasinaloga, a group based in Athens, Greece. Since 1997, I created visual performance, combining puppets and actor for children and adults. I graduated from the National School of Puppet Theatre in Charleville-Mézières, France, at SNAM. Since then, I have created 15 different productions and have participated in numerous international festivals. You can see for our artistic work in prasinaloga.gr. Our recent focus since 2019 we have been placing a strong emphasis on the social impact of puppetry, how puppets can empower people and communities. In our main social project is Kuklopezume, playing with puppets in Greek, a free educational creative program for teachers and group facilitators, actors across Greece. We give online training and we help them to create a performance. They work with their students, and at the end they upload a video submission of their performance on our platform and participate in our national competition. This program is open to all regions of Greece, and it supports inclusive participation, especially in underserved communities and special needs schools. Funding and future plans. Our program is supported by the Hellenic Minister of Culture, but we have to add other funding sources. We actively participate in Erasmus Plus projects, job shadowing, and private funding from foundations that support social and educational impact through art. You can see our activities in kuklopezume.gr. Our goal is to extend and strengthen the initiative, connecting international with like-minded organizations and artists. Thank you very much for your time, and look forward to opportunities for collaboration and exchange.
Thank you so much, Manuela.
Thank you.
Rust, you are next.
Yes. greetings to everyone here. And I must say apology for the network, because my network is not as stable as enough. So by the time you see me just disappear, don't be surprised. Yeah, and my project that I propose as the president of UNIMA Burundi is titled "What if puppetry was born where it never existed?" So that's the question that came into myself by the time I was questioning, because recently I did research on my country, Burundi, to find whether there is this tradition of puppetry sense or not. And then I find that puppetry, this tradition of puppetry doesn't really existed in my country. So I did got this idea, and then I decided to propose this project in the target of seeking the other areas around the world which are like Burundi, which are where puppetry really doesn't exist, or it is not present in those areas. For me, I suppose, like I did find in Burundi, that we have so many to share, like stories, culture, and so many things that we can share, and that puppet can also intervene and help us in Burundi to tell stories and share around the world. So, and I did question myself and find that it is not because in our country we don't have this traditional puppet that is a desert. Then that's how I got the project proposing that what if we create this international networking, seeking other areas, because it is sometimes surprising to see that there are some areas where puppetry it doesn't really almost exist or present. Whereas we do have this great organization like UNIMA, which is there since long time to promote and defend all over the world the puppet. So, and then it was also for me something which is very interesting for me to find UNIMA and that's what I prepared. Thank you very much. I saw. I think I saw the signal. I think time is over.
Yes,
thank you.
Time is out. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Let us move to Sandrine.
Hi, I'm Sandrine Monnier.
And I'm Rémi Lambert.
I am the artistic director of Désaccordé Theatre, based in Cannes, France. We are here to present a show currently being created in October, Little People. This show is for the first time walker, baby around 12 months and up. Little People is an encounter between daycare residents and a group of small puppets. Very small. So small that baby have become giants. Together, they will experience a metamorphosis that only puppet can create. And I know that you understand what I mean. Little People is a loose adaptation of Haruki Murakami's novel 1Q84. In this novel, character called Little People in English creates a chrysalid of air, with air, from which emerge small clones. The poetic motifs of this novel are very powerful, and we wanted to share them with young children through dance and puppetry. The choice to share a work written for adults with young children is intentional. It challenged us to translate the novel through visual arts, choreographic arts, and musical arts. It inspired us to return before words to their body, and puppets can tell the incredible. During the show, our little puppets, around 50 similar puppets, will carefully hand over the string paper, one by one, to the dancer, who will wave the stage space before your eyes and bring the chrysalids to life through sensitive choreography. Bringing string puppetry to very young audience is an additional challenge due to the subtlety of the manipulation. We were already able to see during the first 3 weeks of residence with the children how delicately the baby welcomed our puppets with their fingertips. With this show, we aim to offer a challenging puppetry experience to very young spectators. Little People will have 2 versions, a highly portable version for daycare and an early childhood center for approximately 25 spectators, and a theater version with an immersive set design that can bring together parents.
You can see everything in our website, and there's our mail.
Thank you so much. So that is our second round. We're returning once more to questions and some crosstalk as we digest and integrate these last presentations. I just want to say, before we jump into that we appreciate that we're doing this all in English. We just talked about languages and how we're all speaking in English, for many of whom it's not our original language. So thank you for making that extra effort and stretch to find a place for us all to communicate. So into questions. We start with Alex or Mareike. I'm not sure which one of you raised your hand.
This is more of a comment. I've been writing notes because we're writing the in-person session for Fishing Fresh in Korea. We're in Mareike's hotel room right now tomorrow. But I think it's really important, as you say, Shoshana, to potentially maybe we should be giving additional time for people who are using English as a second language or who are in a country which experiences poor Wi-Fi. And that's something for us to learn from in doing this first time for next time. So I also wanted to extend my appreciation for those of you who are trying to speak English for, in this space. I think that's really to be applauded. So, but I think next time we do this, and it's such an energetic and wonderful room, I think we'll try and give some extra time for those people who need that adjustment for them to make it fair.
Thank you, Alex. Nastya, are you raising your hand?
Yes, it's me. Thank you so much. It's amazing what presentations we have today. Just want to say that first. And second, if I may ask Sandrine Remy, if I understood right, your project is work in progress now, so it is going to be launched soon. I would be really interested how it works with the daycare children. It's because in my mind, and what we have in Russia, it is totally different visualization for such a small children, and I would love to know how it work on when you continue with this project. If you could share when you launch it, it would be wonderful. What are your thoughts about this smallest group of children with this?
Yes, it's our second experience, main experience with little children, and with our first show, we have a big setting, a big decor to welcome 60 children, and with very adapted with a seat, and we have a little show with the same visual grammar, who can go to the daycare. And when you go to the daycare, you arrive at 7:30 and you play at 9:30, and you play 2 or 3 times, and you have to be in little space, and you have to be really, daycare is very a ritual space, because children are very protected, and people who work with children are very not suspicious, but it's delicate. And the artist must be very, very, very careful, and when you understand that, you can go everywhere, but you don't have to go with an artistic. Okay, I have my desire. I have my. You have to be really. It's another planet, and it's what we like, because with daycare you see a level of humanity that you cross, but for them it's the present. They are not future adult. They are people. People by themselves. The present is very intense, very free, and that is very interesting for the artists. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Do we have some other questions in the room?
Chad.
My question is for Sandrine, but also maybe for everyone. I know that creating puppet theater experiences for very young children was maybe kind of a fad 10 years ago. I seem to see it everywhere. Or touring companies from Australia, New York. So I'm kind of wondering what else is happening. Are you the only ones in your country who are doing these kinds of experiences? Are you part of a larger movement that just keeps going and growing? And yes, thank you.
C'est difficile. It's sorry for my English. I already follow 3 stages in Quebec, in Montréal, in Charleroi, in Belgique, and in France. And there is a festival just for the young people, and I meet a lot of company who works with small baby. It's for me, the material is the way to communicate with the baby. If you are connected to for me, it's the paper. If I am connected to the paper and I give a small paper to a baby with sincerely and generosity, he will answer to you, and he will give you the most beautiful answer, because he is here at the moment, in the present, and it's fantastic. And you know, this is a little hand in the little hand of a baby. It's just the contact of the material.
It's anthropological. In fact, it's you become to you are back to essential thing in the relation, and that's very nice.
Thank you. I want to make sure we get this question that was in the chat from Joanne. For Gavin, have you written about the darker side of puppetry? Do you have writings about it?
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yeah.
Have I written about it? Actually, well, it's a very new workshop that I've only developed it in the last 18 months or so, to actually formulate it as it is now. And before that, I was researching. So it's kind of all up here. I think it'd be great if someone did write about it, because I think it's a subject that's really interesting, especially for new directors who have never necessarily used a puppet before in their non-puppetry practice. So I think there's a lot of directors who may not know what a puppet can do, who are intrigued by using it, using a puppet, but they're not quite sure what to do. So I think if someone could make something academic about it and actually, we can I'm very happy to have a discussion and about this. I'm sure there's other people doing it as well, but for me, I find it very fascinating coming from that puppetry world, which has been purely puppetry in faulty optic, and now working with actors who have never used a puppet. So for me, that's really interesting. So yeah, reach out, anyone who wants to talk.
If I may just answer this, that I would like to connect you, if possible, with the artist who's originally from Russia, but she's now based in Germany, and she never worked with puppets, but she just explored her in her own way and found, like, I think that she could, learn something from this, and it will be a great experience for her. And this is when I saw this situation when person who is not like studied puppetry or anything, she just found her inspiration and visual expression in that.
I think it's really interesting because, when you say an artist who is a sculptor or a visual artist, they discover puppetry from the tactile making side of things, which is great because it's obviously a visual medium, but the more intellectual side or the dramaturgical side, it needs people to come in and become inspired about what a puppet can do. Not, from anything from cynical adults right the way down to babies. I think puppetry is so huge. It's a fantastic medium. But I think there's still a lot to learn and to discover. So yeah, please put me in contact with your friend. That'd be really interesting.
Thank you. I will put in the chat the next 5 presenters.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hello, I'm Vibeke from Norway. I have a puppet theater and I'm also a teacher in high school. And my master degree was a project about puppet theater with young students between 16 to 18 years from different cultures. And the objective of this experiment or project was to promote inclusion and prevent conflict by using puppetry and the Convention on the Rights of the Child. First, we had a little pre-project to let the students go into the puppet world, because for some of them it was totally something new. And they made small table theater, as you can see on the first picture here. It was performances, so based on the objectives of the curriculum, and they made pop-up scenes and the paper puppets. And then the main project, which was like they created a puppet show based on the articles from the Convention on the Right of the Child as a tool for inclusion and conflict prevention in the classroom environment. This class was not have a good environment, so it was a very interesting project to try this out with these type of students. It was like cross-curricular with social studies. It was Norwegian language and the program studies subjects. And we had group of 3 to 5 multicultural students between 16 and 18 years. And they chose their article after reviewing it in social studies. And they wrote stories based on these articles, and they made their puppets so they should go into these performances. The performances was based on 5 articles. Article number 2, non-discrimination. Article number 3, best interests of the child. Number 7, the right to a name and nationality. and Article number 34, protection against sexual exploitation, Article 35, protection against abduction, sale, and trafficking. And it was very interesting to see how they worked during this project. And after we were finished, they showed the performances, and it was really magic. And I got some feedback from them afterwards, and they told me that there were so much more interaction and cooperation in the class. It was also easier to know the others than you usually went to be with during the school day. And was also increased the sense of freedom because the teacher didn't tell them everything to do. They could feel free. And it was a lot of humor, joy, creativity, and unity. And they were not so afraid of the puppets to speak themselves to speak because the puppets did. So it was a very nice project. It was magic. Thank you for attention. Bye.
Thank you so much, Vivek. Thank you for sharing that. The next one is Joanne. Joanne, did you solve your problem with sound? Okay. Joanne? Maybe we should move on now and come back to Jan when she solves it. So next is Anastasia and Leander from France.
So I think because they were traveling, we were sharing the video. When we need audio. And again, I recommend everyone turn up your audio.
I'm sorry, Warren, you need to turn on your mic so we can hear the video. So please start from the beginning.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Yeah. From the WWW company. We are in Rovinj now in Croatia. We are performing at two beautiful puppet festivals. We regularly perform all over Europe, and we always translate our shows in the local language. So, dobar dan.
Dobar dan. This is us performing a couple of weeks ago near Orléans in France, but we are not here to talk about our shows.
We are here because we are currently creating an exhibition about glove puppetry in European public spaces from the 14th to 19th century. Over the past 6 years, we've collected more than 1,000 images of puppet performances, and from those, we've selected 50 key examples for our exhibition. Our research explores 5 interconnected areas.
First one, dramaturgy of gesture. Street glove puppetry was centered on skilled hand movement, with just one puppeteer doing everything. This created a distinctive two-handed, two-character performance style.
2, the shape-shifting hero. This character evolved over time while keeping his wise, full personality. His whistling voice, made with the swaddle, could cut through the noise in busy public spaces, which was probably why he became so popular everywhere.
Third, made-to-measure tools. Many images show puppeteers crafting and using tools fitted to their bodies, especially in booth design and puppet sizing. Everything had to be lightweight, small, and custom-made because they were constantly on the move.
4, economy of performance. Puppeteers never worked alone. They performed alongside other street performers. The barker or stooge figure was crucial, handling money matters, connecting the puppeteer with the audience, and often providing music for the performance.
5th, Fifth, audience composition. When you look at the pictures, you see remarkably diverse crowds with all social classes and ages mixed together. With audience around 30 to 50 people, there was a real connection between performers and spectators.
Our exhibition includes high-resolution reproduction, interactive elements, and demonstrations that bring this rich European performance history to life.
We are excited to announce that we'll be launching the exhibition in Paris next spring in 2026. After that, it'll tour throughout France for 2 years. And looking ahead, we are planning to take it international.
We are delighted to share our research with members of UNIMA. We are very open to collaboration.
This research highlights how puppetry has flourished through cross-border exchange, an important reminder for all of us in the international puppetry community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing, thank you. Anastasia and Leander are here, so when we have a question and answers break, you will be able to ask them questions if you have any. Let's move to the next one. Erika.
Okay. Hello, everyone. You hear me? Is okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I am the co-founder of an organization called Puppeteers Without Borders, which was founded 20 years ago. We are an international organization promoting growth, change, and conflict resolutions through the art of puppetry. We have been active for 20 years, creating customized programs for communities around the world. We are officially registered in France as a nonprofit. Our aim is actually to support or empower communities to deal with sensitive issues through the magical art of puppetry. Our focus is health education, family planning, nonviolent communication, environmental topics, cultural diversity, and human rights. The idea is to train facilitators, educators, health workers, to use puppets in their work. Therapeutic puppetry combines verbal and non-verbal modes of expression, and it can be applied in hospitals with nurses. We teach them how to do puppets out of the hospital material, simple puppets or glove puppet they can put in their pockets, and with that work with the children undergoing operation or difficult treatment. We have programs with social workers in areas where, for instance, there is need to educate young women on safe sex or hygiene. So we work mostly with adults, although in our current program, Puppets as Peace Ambassador, we call it, we work in local schools, and we work with children creating little shows, teaching them how to do little puppets and little theater where they express the conflicts, and we work a bit with nonviolent communication technique to teach them a bit the principles of, or to make them aware of the feelings, of needs, and how that conflicts are not necessarily irresolvable. Then we have other programs with for instance, our next program is with refugees There is a center of refugees near where I live, and there are children there that are going for the first time into the school, and we we encourage them to we encourage the school children to integrate the refugees in the classroom. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Erika. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, finished.
Perfect. Let's move to Chad Williams.
Yes, hi. Hello, everyone. Hi. Good morning from New York City. My name is Chad Williams. I'm the co-artistic director of Wonderspark Puppets. I have been training puppeteers, new puppeteers, for the last 5 years. And so you can see a couple photos from our last cohort. So I run the program continues to evolve, but currently I run a program that is 8 weeks long here in New York City, in Manhattan, at the Jim Henson Carriage House, with the idea that there needs to be more easy to access, equitable training in a space for all. Even here in the United States, we are separated, like it's a very big country, so there are training centers all over the place. But in New York City, where there are so many puppeteers, so many actors, I felt like we needed one more. So I wrote a couple of hand puppet manuals that focus on utilizing very simple puppets. So everyone is holding up this hand puppet that is made out of a toilet paper tube and 2 pieces of paper. It's great for teaching them hand puppet techniques, and then every one of those techniques can be transferred over to any puppetry style. So it's like the bare bones basics, and then we get into more things that hand puppets do really well, hand puppets or glove puppets. And I use 2-finger style, which I don't know if that's unique or whatever, but here in the States, I feel like it's catching on. Many people are using 2 fingers for their hands. So the goal is to train up more puppeteers, new puppeteers, people who really were interested in the form. I don't see the timer, so I'm just going to keep rambling until I hear that, until I hear the music. So in our most current group, we have old women, we have young men, we have nurses, we have teachers, we have a former clown, we have 5 Black women, which let me tell you, to have 5 Black women together in the United States in puppetry outside of like a specific production is incredible. And so Samantha Singh, who was here earlier today, a former student and graduate of this program, and we're starting to see students who have done the 8 weeks of training go on to be hired by other puppetry companies or become builders. And so that's the idea. Kind of like in sports in other countries, where we see the United States soccer program is abysmal on a world stage. And that's because, in my opinion, many other countries train their kids up from a professional way very early. So I'm trying to bring some of that, like train up everyone and then shoot them off to Vermont, over to Shoshana, to hopefully give them like level 2 or up to UConn, where we have our university level, like a bachelor's and master's program, and open everyone's eyes, kind of ease them into the community. We have, I get like an email every week from someone looking for like the next, like, hey, how do I get these skills? There's not a lot of stuff available out there. And so we're hoping to be kind of like the carriage stone in someone's yard, like getting them onto the level where we could say like, yes, here's all these opportunities. Please go to a puppet slam. Please, like start performing. Here's some basics so that you can go to an audition, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the program. I'm sure I'm close to time, but I just wanted to say thank you, hello, and we accept international students all the time. We have a wonderful professional clown from Germany coming to join us in the fall. So if you're out there and you have someone, a young puppeteer who might want to be immersed in a different culture, come to New York City for a couple months, send them our way. Be happy to to include them. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Chad. I'm sorry I didn't turn on the timing. I failed as a timekeeper, but it just because we decided in our little chat that after the last question and answers 8 minutes, we will stay for extra 10 or 15 just to have a UNIMA cafe. So please stay and we could continue the conversation. And now we are going to start 8 minutes question and answers for the last 5 presenters.
Yes, Alex.
My question is for Erica. I really was inspired by your presentation, and I wonder if through your website we can access resources to your content regarding all the things that you've discussed. As an educator, I think it's great that you're offering lessons in social studies through puppetry. And as a teacher who has a cohort right now who is really struggling to engage, I think this would be a great way forward. But I wonder if you're currently operating. So I have 2 questions really. Are you currently still operating, and are your facilitators still moving around the world? And 2, are your resources available online?
Okay, there is a website online that I put online. I can write it again on the chat, where there is a lot of information there. Actually, I participate here with a secret wish in my heart, because actually when we were a little group of puppeteers who created this association, and we worked for, as I said, for 20 years, and we did a wonderful job. And now one member has sadly passed on to a better life. Another one is aging and unable to continue to work. And I, at my age, I'm the last, and the last, I'm the last survivor of this organization. And actually, I think the project is really fantastic and good. And I still get offers, and I still have plans to go here and there. And now I'm talking of going to Colombia and going to I don't know where again. I have invitation here and there, but my age is what it is. And what I would like really to have other people to pick up the idea, and to pick up the younger people to pick up the ideas, and to pick up our way of work, which I think is good. Of course, everybody will put his own personality and things, but actually I offer this to whoever is ready to pick up the glove and continue the work. So we can so we can continue we can connect through email, and I can tell you more in details how to do and what to do. And where are you in Australia? Which part of Australia?
Melbourne.
Melbourne, okay. No, because I have an Australian daughter, that's why. Anyway.
I'll put my email in the chat. This is great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Erica.
Okay. So we can, whoever is willing and ready to collaborate and to take over is welcome. Okay.
It's so beautiful. That's what this space is for. Yay!
Puppeteers without borders.
Yes, without borders, and the intergenerationality, the sustaining of this through generations. This is why we need to share space. Peter, please. Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Me and my big mouth. Me and my big mouth. Sorry, I was to say, Erica, thank you so much. I think the work that Puppeteers Without Borders has done over the years is so brilliant. I'm so glad that there is a website that we can connect to, that younger puppeteers, not me, I'm too old, younger puppeteers can get involved in. And I also just wanted to say, Alex, chase Fidelis out of there. He is trouble. And that man is trouble. Love from Africa. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
man.
Say it again.
Wait, I'm a good man, Peter. What's wrong with you?
Sorry, we're being very naughty.
UNIMA Youth Commission represent, or new commissioners as it is. Okay, so just to review, as we, if anyone has any questions, we heard our last round of presentations were Vibeke from Norway, Anastasia and Simone from France, Erica and Chad from the United States.
Maybe we can try to reach out Joanne again. Joanne, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear?
Okay, great, Joanne. So,
Hi.
as we do not have any new questions, maybe we can proceed with your presentation now.
Wonderful. Do you see me also? I'm on my telephone. So what should I do to?
You can just share your presentation. We see your slide right now.
Okay,
on our
great. Oh,
screens.
wonderful. That's all I need. Oh, fantastic. It's about Hamlet 2025. This Hamlet project has been launched in a mental health and therapy organization in the Netherlands. I live in Rotterdam, a harbor city with 176 different nationalities. This center is opened recently, and we are open to neighbors, local residents, volunteers, clients, theater lovers, amateurs, and professionals to share dreams, stories, drawings, and puppet theater techniques. We worked with new media, exchanged knowledge, and learned how to use modern means of communication. So I should exercise Zoom more, as you can see. Watching a video about UNIMA project VIPR-SIA on a big screen immediately generated an awareness of inclusion. So to see all the puppeteers from all over the world is very inspiring. And the capacity for local and global exchange, the global quality, inspired local people ready and made them ready to organize an international interacting group. After a series of workshops in shadow theater with hand-drawn puppets and storytelling, the meetings transformed into a digital puppetry cafe. By experimenting with artificial intelligence to depict dreams and nightmares from a deep night consciousness, we tried to steer and search for gentle, mindful understanding of the human existence. This new way of improvising with hand-drawn puppets in artificial intelligence generated backgrounds, we call backdrops, encapsulates weekly moments of pleasant togetherness by supporting and helping each other, by chatting and drinking endless teas and coffees together. Hamlet 2025 was created from a variation of simply edited texts from Shakespeare's legacy about living, dreaming, sleeping, and perhaps dying. So the words we used only were, is dreaming or acting? We sleep, dream, die. Being, we are here. That's what it's all about. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Joanne. Thanks a lot.
Okay, you're welcome.
So do we have some extra questions for the last 5 presenters, including Joanne now? Okay, so I will say my word and we will go to UNIMA Cafe right after that. I would like to thank you so much for attending today's session and sharing this, not just exciting, this incredible works. I have to say that I couldn't imagine this session to be this great, and I'm very happy. And we did it together with every presenter and every person in the audience. And in coming days, you will receive a follow-up email with the summaries and all the contacts of the presenters. And it will be united with the in-person session presenters as well. We encourage you to continue chatting, but we start already, and connecting with each other to build the next steps in your projects. Please reach out to presenters directly with any follow-up questions, and we hope you have been inspired today, and we thank you for being brave and sharing your work. Please enjoy the rest of this cafe, this chatting. I'm extremely happy, and enjoy the rest of your day, night, or any time you are in right now. We were happy to be here with you, the Youth Commission that we hope is going to continue after the tomorrow's plenary. Yeah, you are now free to, turn your mics on and just rock it. I'm very happy.
Rocket.
Rocket. If you need to leave, we thank you so much and keep in touch.
Thank you, Anastasia.
Thank you very much.
Shoshana.
Thank you. It's
Great.
great.
That was so energetic, everybody. That was
Thank you
wicked.
so much. It was amazing.
Thank you all.
Let's keep doing it.
Thank you.
I want more. Let's keep doing it, girls. It was great. It was a great
Thank you very
idea.
much. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes,
that's great to hear.
Yes, I hope Fishing for Fresh Ideas stays on the program with UNIMA.
Yes.
It's great.
We love fishing.
It is very good to hear, and we are happy to say that it's in the appendix of the rules of procedure. So it's like it should stay there. We just need people to, keep it up.
Ah, nice to hear.
Credit also goes to Pierre Alain Roll, who invented this back some years ago.
Yeah.
And maybe we can make some give it some knowledge in our national networks that will work.
Oh, there she is. Oh, sorry.
Yes, we probably should. And it is possible to do it sometimes, not only during the congresses or council meetings. We can also, I do not know, do it within the other UNIMA events.
Yeah.
3 months.
Also, would be
At least once a year.
Yeah. Good.
Great idea, Anastasia. It's really fantastic.
We already have so many plans here. I love it. Like indigenous languages discussion or, open session sounds so exciting. And I'm thinking about forwarding the Erica's presentation to a couple of commissions maybe in UNIMA. So maybe they could support it because it's always, easier because commission is like a group of people already. Maybe they could keep some things up. So it would be wonderful.
Yeah, I feel like out of this, we have a couple themes for next possible meetings that might be good to synthesize while we're all in the room together.
Yep.
That it would be wonderful, as mentioned, to have a session around language.
Yep. And colonialism. Yep.
Specifically, yes, the relationship between
Deconservation.
people who are working between indigenous and colonized colonial languages. The other one I heard that, well, we didn't quite touch on, but would be really beautiful is a session around trainings, international trainings, to continue to riff off of what Chad was offering and what Gavin was offering, and Sandglass has something to offer in that field as well that feels like it relates to what Gavin was talking about. So I think that would be a wonderful session to continue with. And I think what Erica brought to the table is, of course, prompted a lot in all of us in terms of a legacy that continues and who the next generation is, who's taking over something that is so deeply international and fundamental to this organization and UNIMA's charge anyway, that we need to be responsible for and carry forward as a community. So I would love to propose that these three are the ones that I'm pulling, and of course I think there's always more. We also touched on work for very, very young audiences and different things like that. But if there's some place we can track that and maybe coordinate future sessions around, would be wonderful.
I would also add, Jadi, yes.
I just wanted to say that I'm working at the moment with the Training Commission on an online, well, a hybrid academy for puppetry called the Provocation Academy, which the goal is to offer puppetry training in a kind of modular form that can be followed at the pace that people are ready to follow it, and they can accumulate an accredited qualification in puppet theater that is shaped to their own particular needs. Like if the initial training would be something that everybody would cover the basics of performance and construction and so on, and then people would start to choose modules perhaps more in applied puppetry, perhaps theater for young audiences, or perhaps the darker side of theater, of puppetry, or whatever it may be, maybe something that it would go more into the sort of adult theater department. This academy is sort of under development in thinking, and hopefully will be emerging onto the scene in the next year. So I'm very open to that being also a space where we can collect thoughts around this training. The idea is that it's very accessible. So mainly for the Global South, it should be totally free.
Oh, that sounds unreal.
I wanted to say also about the topics that I heard like multiple times from different artists from all around the African continent that this thing that Arast talked about this young puppetry that like doesn't seem like having its roots yet. And I'm very excited. I do not know, maybe this discussion is already happening in Africa, but I, as a person outside of this area, I would be very interested to hear more about it, to go deeper in this, because it's something different, and it's very authentic, and I'm a fan of a lot of African artists. So will be very, very, very interested in such a conversation.
Fantastic. I mean, the idea is very much that the training should be sourced from within Africa and Latin America, but that there would also be people from other parts of the world who offer particular expertise, like there's no one like Gavin to do dark. And so then, you might want to call on somebody with those particular skills in the build-up of professors and so on. So I think that, there's lots of space. There's lots of space, and I really invite people to also get in touch with me if you're interested in contributing and hearing more about it, etc. That's my mission inside UNIMA.
Could you put your contact in the chat?
Sure.
Thank you.
We should probably not only save the chat, but share the chat as well. Put it in the common folder, because there were like a lot of important conversations happening during the presentations.
One of the things that has been coming up over the last couple of years, specifically in gender, is about, sorry, I'm talking specifically about gender and young audiences, is that it tends only to be mothers and toddlers. And so currently I'm working on a production, formulating an idea that is about fathers and children coming to the theatre, so that it's specifically targeted at making dads get off their bum and take their youngsters to the theatre. And it's an interactive performance, and it actually utilizes the dads as puppeteers within the production. So they are puppeteering for their own children, and then their children puppeteer back for them. And it's an interactive conception, concept that where everybody is in an enclosed space with projections, etc., etc. So it links in very, very nicely to several things that people were discussing. I'm delighted to see that, yes, if all the contact details were in the chat, are going to be available, that would be stunning. Thank you. I can pick everybody's brains.
I love this idea. It's like it's very, very up to date to our area, I think, as well. I like it very much. And I remember like the Asidesh, they have their like motto, I don't know, like take a child to a theater. And I always dreamed about doing something like take your parent to a theater. So try to reach to children first, not like in the bad way like TV doing that, but to inspire children to say, oh, I want to see this. Dad, come with me. Mom, come with me.
Yes, this is not to the exclusion of mums. I just want to point that out there.
It's my protest here.
But it's to get kids, to get dads into the theatre.
Well,
because I think that gender balance is far too all over the place at the moment. So
who's going? Yes, I need to share regarding that. One friend of mine, when we were discussing, the audience is in the theater and he's into marketing, like an expert for that. And he was like showing me the posts on Facebook, on Instagram, and you would see, like the content was so much for children, like they are watching the Facebook or Instagram or whatsoever. And he's saying actually the tickets are for parents. So the campaign needs to tackle them, not, hey guys, puppetry, you sell the ticket to the parent, they will bring the child. And it just opened my mind. We are actually talking to them. And all of our posts, when you look at the children theater, are actually for children, for their age, and they're not online. So we need to change our strategies towards tackling the parents, bring your granny to the theater or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of musical groups in Australia are starting to do this through social media. They're starting to actually target parents and do so, really strategically through social media TikToks as just themselves as performers talking to the parents. It's very smart. Just on gender, I think there's such a space for queer exploration and gender exploration through puppetry as a workshop series, or even as a similar seminar, to see how as educators potentially we're exploring gender with our students, or they're finding gravitating towards puppetry to explore their gender. This may have already been discussed earlier today before I came in, but if anyone's working in that sort of field, it's something that I'm exploring and seeing a lot in Melbourne. So I'm really curious to see how gender expression is being explored, if anyone's got ideas.
Alex, we've been exploring it through Puppeteers of America, because I'm also involved with them, even though I'm here in Africa. And we have done some work here. Johnny and I have been talking about where that falls within curriculum, and I think that really is, it's very, very important. I think finding a balance, finding a level so that we don't push anybody away, but rather make the whole thing encompassing, is really, really important. And I think the concept of the inclusivity of puppetry, that we have he puppets, we have she puppets, we have they puppets, we have puppets that have no gender whatsoever, and they don't need a gender. They just need to be. They need to live. They need to love, and they need to be who they are. And I think that is something, in connection with what Gavin was saying about the darker side of puppetry, that level of being able to encompass everybody. Nobody is left out of puppetry. No group is excluded. I'm doing puppetry with disabled kids. I'm doing puppetry at the moment with a whole pile of autistic kids. It's just everybody has an opportunity to be involved in puppetry, and that's what makes it so absolutely essential. And I think that's why the work that Erica has been doing over the years, and everybody, but I mean specifically Puppeteers Without Borders, it just makes an impassioned plea for something that is tangible, for something that you can actually touch and hold and feel, and that in the center of every person who watches or is involved in, there's just this little light that just goes and ignites. And that, I think, is what's really important. And I'm going to turn my camera off now because I'm going to cry.
Oh, it's so passionate the way you speak. Thank you, Peter.
I have tears in my eyes.
Loves. I would like to share, if I may, a few experiences regarding gender in the puppet theaters. So maybe you don't know, but I worked in Rijeka City Puppet Theater in Croatia for 7 years as a professional puppeteer, part of the ensemble, because in Southern Europe, we still have these positions that are paid for actors. They can go to audition and, be paid to work their job, like salaries. And then you have directors coming and they choose the role cast, for the shows, different shows. And mostly it is customary, like not from the 20s, but like from 1970s in Croatia, that when you have a role for a child, boy, usually it is played by a female puppeteer, never by the boys, because we have voice that is a little bit more rough, so they choose and cast females. And I have two experiences. One actress was sick, so they had a show on the stage, and I needed to take the role of the fox. It was like I was uncovered, but I had a road puppet with me, and when she was playing that role, she was brilliant, of course, but she couldn't get this mysticality and fear that fox carries with itself, this smart brain, and like, wow, what is on her toes. And when I appeared on the stage, children were terrified, like, and you could hear the mama, why is this fox a boy? You could literally feel the fear. And we had a discussion that actually through the puppetry, we were in Croatia, I'm talking, we always had like this weird combination of female and male playing whatsoever, but the bad experience is from that side. We had a show in one region of Croatia. It is a big city, but Šibenik, but it is a little bit conservative community. So we give a role in the Cinderella to a male, the bad mama. So that was, like a trans kind of a guy looking very weird, and we saw it was like 800 people in the audience, and you could see, we started the show, and when he or she entered the stage, you could see literally the full row standing up and going out. They didn't even watch that. And then it was in the newspaper that they will never ever call Rijeka to open such a big festival, because this is a disgraceful moment, to allow children to watch this kind of a performance. It's just a reflection now from my past experiences, in this thing. And I'm talking about Croatia, which is a Catholic country, and they still are a little bit, conservative in approaching this, and they are very aware, like, what is on the stage, like if there is something that they don't accept, you would literally see that in the newspaper saying this is unacceptable, or they would write comments for the shows in the Facebook and things like that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Marike, did you want to speak about tomorrow? We just, because we're all together and we're running the session tomorrow, is it okay if Marike kind of plugs what's happening tomorrow in person?
Please do.
Halo, hang on. Yeah.
So we're gonna like we wanted to like connect both sessions so that we have at least a little connection, because it would be so nice if we were all together. But since yeah, you are online and it's so lovely to see you and to hear your presentations. Thank you so much. It's so inspiring. I've been like parallelly working a little bit for the preparations for tomorrow, so it's a lot to be in a Congress on site, but maybe some of you also already have the experience. And so we wanted to share what's going to happen tomorrow in the Fishing Fresh, and we will have 5 very lovely presentations. There will be summaries sent around, so we will have a collection of all the presentations, all that were here online today and also that are on site tomorrow. We have the summaries prepared for you to also dig into this project, make contact. So everybody gave their contact details so that you can connect. And then we created this beautiful cardboard fish where we're going to actually like on site, we have little scales cut out. So like all of us were sitting in the plenary sessions, cutting scales and cutting little fishes. It was a really lovely sight, like all UNIMA Australia sitting there
and New Zealand
cutting, like UNIMA Germany sitting there cutting, and you know, and so we're going to actually collect all the ideas that are cooking up within this Congress. We're trying to like collect all these on the scales, on the little fish we have prepared, and then we will have the Fishing Fresh cardboard fish with his school of fishes that are fresh ideas, and we're looking forward to. We will do a lot of photos so that all of you can also grasp this idea that are in the room here in Chuncheon. It's a very hot day. It's been raining, and it's really an overwhelming experience. And we just wanted to share a little insight so that we kind of feel connected. Thanks for listening.
No, but before you do that, can you do that Fishing Freshy thing 4 times really fast for me, please?
Fishing fresh ideas. Freshing fish ideas is fishing fresh. Freshing fish ideas. Fish.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you, Marike, before we close the meeting? So tomorrow's session is in person, and in what space it is in Chuncheon? If it is, I'm asking because if it is in Congress space, we have cameras there, so all of the online participants could just watch, you know, what's happening. Is it possible to organize some camera for the room or no?
Unfortunately, no, because so in the big Congress hall where we are having the plenaries and where you can see us all day sitting and with the smoking heads, you know, where the cameras are, there will be discussions about motions and the motions for the commissions. So this is time, also the Congress needs this time for the discussions. So we are going to be upstairs, and we will have like only basic technical support. So but maybe we can like do a little live stream in the middle, and we will do a lot of photos. So we have like one person responsible for doing a lot of photos, so that we can send them to you, and that we can share this experience. We're very sorry, but the technical support is needed in the downstairs, in the basement, in the beautiful wedding room basement. And so we will just be analog upstairs.
Peter wants to speak.
Okay.
Can I just ask that if there's any opportunity that it could be recorded, even if it's on somebody's phone, even if it's just an audio recording,
we'll work on that.
There could be a link so we can at least listen to that at a later stage. That really would be wonderful. Thank you.
I think we can probably manage that. I think we can try our best. It might be.
It doesn't matter. But if we have an opportunity to be in the room in some way with you, it would be fantastic. Thank you.
I agree.
We will try our best to maybe also make a live stream, but it will be like in some uncomfortable nighttime for you, I'm guessing. So but we will do our best to have a recording so that you can take a look, and stay tuned with the summaries of the presentations, and yeah, so that you can like e-meet by reading and then making contact with the social media or with the email to all these lovely people presenting tomorrow.
The main thing is that tomorrow, actually, what we need is for all of you to represent us while we're away for the Youth Commission and for what we do in the motion session. So if anything comes up about the commissions, we're not going to be there, and we are the representatives of the Youth Commission on site. And so it's really important that you all speak up for us and for your, if you really enjoyed this session or the networking games or anything that we've done, it's important that you speak for us. So while we're not there, so we appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We're going to wrap this all up so we can continue our days. I will leave you just with the prompt, with the challenge to, I hope you each email one person from this session, reach out to one person, even if it's just to say, gosh, that really moved me when you said that. I appreciate what you're doing. So give yourself some point of contact out of this, and we'll see you all again down the road. Thank you so much for joining us. Carry on.
Thank you. See you in UNIMA cafes later.
Oh, thank you very much.
That was beautiful. I never knew I can do that. Eras just taught me. Bye-bye.
Somebody made the chat for me because I can't do it on my phone.
I do not know. It's like, I really think that it was great.
Yeah, exciting.